Hello, this is Tim from Two Blokes From Blighty, and before we get into the main episode, we're going to hear a message from our friends over at Two Girls, One Reusable Cup. Take it away.
Hello, we are Two Girls, One Reusable Cup, a podcast all about living a low-waste lifestyle in your 20s, hosted by Beth and Marie. We are just your average consumer trying to make the best decisions for people and planet. And we mess up. A lot.
And the next morning had a massive hangover and I was like, where's my reusable straw? No, my prized possession.
Toothpaste is like one of the jumping off points of this podcast. And it also was one of the jumping off points of my very large dentist bill.
And they put it in just standard plastic cup with a plastic lid. But don't worry, folks, they put a paper straw in it, which I think I slurped twice and then it disintegrated.
Wait, you've never learned how to ride a bike?
So kudos to my dad. He tried to teach me and I was just a pain. I love how unforgiving you are of the fact that this was 1,800 meters above sea level. But where was my quiche?
Grab a cup of tea, sit down with us, and come and join the Sustainable Support Group.
Sustainable and a great listen.
Yeah.
ITBOY, 2BFB, $. That's us. That's right. That's us. We are HIM, the Gen Z M&M. That's right. That's us. That's me. That's us. This is Two Blokes From Blighty. I am Joe Fitzgerald. I am sat here with a exceptionally confused looking Tim Fitzgerald.
I've just had acronyms blasted at me. What's happening?
It's no acronyms. It's just spelling it out. ITBOY, it boy. 2BFB, Two Blokes From Blighty, $, because it fits.
Yep.
Um,
I thought you found a song with 2BFB in it for a start.
No, it's by a guy called Baby No Money. So the actual lyrics are ITBOY, BBNO $. That's me. That's right. I am HIM, the Gen Z M&M. I'm him, the Gen Z M&M. There you go, Tim.
Sure, it's practical. Hello, how you doing?
Have you ever felt so old?
I feel old constantly these days.
Tim, you should listen to that song. It's really good. It's one of those songs. It's it sounds shit when you first listen to it, but it's
really selling it.
Well, every time you hear it, and I heard it quite a lot because it was a trend on TikTok for a while, it gets better and better and better. I've put it in the chat now. I would like you to listen to it. I know I said I didn't want to do loads of editing because of a short turnaround time, but just listen to the start of it and watch the video as well. The video is great.
Right, I'm seeing a hawk or a falcon.
Yeah, of course you are.
Oh, no, hang on. I've got it playing in two different places. Why am I being yelled at about Ninja Turtles? What the fuck is happening? Sorry, I got adverts yelling at me as well.
Well, if you got adverts, you got YouTube Premium.
So I don't have YouTube. I've got YouTube Premium, and it only works on browser, but not embedded videos, which is the problem.
Oh.
All right, let me have a look at this.
That sounds like a you problem. Sounds like a skill issue.
Damn. Cool that he got a falcon to do something.
Yeah. I like the guy. I think he's really cool. But the music video, you'll believe me now when I say it. It looks like the cameraman went, I've got this camera, but the zoom is broken, so it constantly zooms in. And you go, that's fine.
Damn, you can absolutely see his balls in that one shot.
Is that the one where he's on the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's far from the worst thing I've ever heard.
Listen to it later, and then you'll be like, well, that's even better.
I'll give it a look-see.
He's good fun, Baby No Money. I quite like him.
I like the name.
Tim, we always start in the same way. We always start with a pub quiz question.
Pub quiz question of the week. Not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
For the audience who don't know me all too well, I am not much of a forward planner with these things, and I'm normally scrambling for jokes and a quiz question, and sometimes a weird history, either on the day of the recording or even as late as 15 minutes before. I have done
Or as
prep
late as
work.
in the episode.
That's true. I have done some prep work and got 100 pub quiz questions essentially laid out on a page. So now we shouldn't run out for 100 weeks.
Get ready, people. We're going to go through all of them now.
Number 1. Right. I'll start off with an easy one, and if you get that, I will go to.
We just do it.
One.
So what I'll do is I'll try and answer it, and if I get it right, we move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
Until you get it wrong.
Until I get it wrong. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So, what iconic monument is known for its massive limestone structure and sphinx guarding its entrance in Egypt?
The pyramids
Of
Giza.
Yeah, you got it. Number 2.
You really have me questioning it then.
Which famous bridge in San Francisco is often shrouded by fog and connects? Yep. Number 3. The Great Wall of China was primarily built to protect against invasions from which historical? Yep. What famous statue? It is a bit. What famous statue on Liberty Island in New York Harbor was a gift from France?
I wonder if it's the Statue of Liberty.
Great. What city can you find the Colosseum, the ancient amphitheater? Yep. What natural wonder along the U.S. And Canada border is one of the world's largest and most famous waterfalls?
The Niagara Falls.
Great. The Taj Mahal, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a beautiful white marble mausoleum located in which Indian city?
New Delhi?
Not New Delhi.
Mumbai.
Not Mumbai. I'm going to give you one more.
For fuck's sake. I don't know. I've lost all my steam now.
Ah, okay. Well,
it's on the bank of the Ganges. I know that.
Yeah, but I need the city.
Nope, name's gone.
Cool. Okay, well, we might come back to the end of the episode.
How did I do in my mastermind quiz?
6 in a row off the bat.
Nice. I really like the quickfire nature of them.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do that more often. I struggle to find one quiz question each week. How about 100?
It was it reminded me of University Challenge with Jeremy Paxton where they just interrupt him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good fun.
I just need to have a nerdy buzzer.
That's way too much work.
Yeah.
Way too much work. Tim.
Yep.
This episode goes out on the 18th of December.
Yeah. That's our last one before Christmas.
Well, the week after is Christmas Day, which is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So if you work backwards, that
you
means
said
the
this a week
18th
before?
is a Wednesday?
That sounds right.
It's a Wednesday.
Tim and Joey talking loud. Holidays that make them proud. Calendar check every week. Which day holds the peak? Valentine's is on a pivot. Christmas Eve sometimes hits it. New Year's Eve can be found smiling on a Wednesday round. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week a fair.
Every time.
Banger. Certified
Chills.
banger.
Chills. Literal chills.
Like literal chills.
So I've got a couple of days for you. The original website I had 3 days and all of them were rubbish. So I went and used somewhere else this week. So this was one that was on the old one. You know my feelings on the old one. Answer the phone like Buddy the Elf Day.
No.
No, I didn't think so.
No.
Here's a good one. Arabic Language Day.
That is a good one.
Cool one, isn't it?
Have you seen that screenshot from that Facebook poll? I know it's a Facebook poll, so you should take it with a massive pinch of salt. But it was the question was sent around a bunch of American feeds, and it was said, should we be teaching Arabic numerals in schools? And the answer was 80% no.
Arabic numerals are just numbers.
Those are just numbers. If we didn't have them, we'd still be doing I's and V's and X's.
Yeah. Tim, National Bake Cookies Day.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, pretty good one. Flake Appreciation Day.
Now, are we talking the flake chocolate bar?
We're talking snowflakes. As in literal snowflakes, not the thing that woke people get called.
Yeah, the woke left. Nah.
No. National Crime Junkie Day. Now, this isn't quite what it seems. This is people who love true crime documentaries.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
National Roast Suckling Pig Day.
Nah.
And then finally, there is a few more, but they're quite serious, not really in keeping with light-hearted nature.
No, not like our 9/11 episode.
No, that was really fun. National Wear a Plunger on Your Head Day.
I've seen people putting plungers on bald people's heads in hardware stores and they get stuck.
That's quite funny, but that's also
good.
mean.
Yeah, it's quite mean because they now have to pay for a plunger.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem. I'm going to go with Crime Junkie Day.
I like that one.
I love a crime documentary. I think, especially if it's like something like Making a Murderer, I found that one like fascinating. I watched the Dharma series earlier this year. I watched something to do with John Wayne Gacy earlier this year as well, and a lot of serial killer stuff. But there was also stuff like the Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist I watched a documentary on. But I want the audience to celebrate by sending us your best true crime dramas. Not dramas, documentaries, ideally.
What's your preferred way of taking in these crime documentaries? I'll give you an example. So mine, there's only one true crime thing I really regularly partake in, and that's a podcast called I Could Murder a Podcast.
Sure.
It's like light-hearted fun at serial killers. It's really, really good. I know the two things don't often go, but it's really good. It's presented in a really nice, fun way. They take the serious stuff seriously and they respect where it's due, but they do loads of stuff that's really, really interesting. So they do like serial killers, but then they've also done episodes on the Great Train Robbery.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that as well. It's really good.
Nice. I personally am a sucker for the Netflix-style cliffhanger documentaries. I want a proper thing afterwards.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my heavens. That's what I want anytime there's any sort of drama thing or a documentary, if it be that crime or otherwise.
Okay, cool. Tim.
Yeah.
So, the Crime Junkies. It's the 18th of December.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of documentaries or films should you be watching 1 week before the 25th of December? Christmas movies.
Christmas movies, yeah.
Oh, well done. Very good.
Thank
and
you.
unprompted.
Very unprompted.
Tim, let's do our movie section.
Get that out the way. Movies. As an aside, we did a Secret Santa exchange today in real life, and one of the things I got in mind was a harmonica. I'm going to try and learn that.
You try now?
It's downstairs.
Go and get it.
I don't want to go and get it right now.
Go and get it.
No, I'm not going to go and get it right now. That's something I'm going to do for next season. Is I'm going to try and learn it.
Go on, do it now.
I'm not going to get it right now.
Go on, do it now.
No, I'm not going to get it right now. We watched Nativity.
Oh, okay. Really took the fun out of the Christmas bit there, Tim.
It wasn't very Christmassy, Mark.
It wasn't very good. It was a joke, Tim. It was a Christmas joke. For anyone who doesn't understand, that is a Peep Show reference.
Oh, it's a phenomenal episode, that as well.
It's one of the best. Where
I didn't get the turkey.
Mark goes mad and puts all the ham he gets in the shredder his parents get him. The second-hand shredder they get him for Christmas.
That's brilliant.
Tim, tell us about Nativity. You've got 10 seconds. Go.
The school teacher that hates Christmas learns to rediscover the joy of Christmas when a teaching assistant helps encourage the kids in his class to put on a nativity play, and it reunites him with his girlfriend.
That was 11. You're fired.
No.
Alex is back. He's
He's
the other bloke.
Everyone. Bye.
I think we might have done 100 episodes of Two Blokes, but I don't know if that's true.
Them.
I have to count them because we're going over our usual 10 episode limit on a season here, and we did that in the first season as well. This is season 8. We are either at or very close to 100 episodes.
If anyone wants to count, please, thanks.
Yeah, because Tim and I don't want to put
I'm not going to.
Tim, what did you think of Nativity?
Nativity was... It's a harmless movie. It's definitely not for me, but I understand why some people would really, really like this film.
Why would they really like this film, Tim?
If you're let's say you have a child that is in primary school or elementary school, you would probably enjoy this movie. If you like kids and maybe don't have kids, you would probably enjoy this movie. If for whatever reason you liked Alan Partridge, Davies,
Baldwin.
not Alec Baldwin. What's he called? Alan Carr.
Martin Freeman.
If for whatever reason you like Alan Carr, you will probably like this movie. It's not offensively bad. I didn't have the best time with it, but I don't like kids that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll move my son to the other side of the table next time we see.
No, you're like Jack is very much the exception. I don't even want to bleep his name. Your son is very much the exception.
It's fine. I think we didn't bleep it last time. I said we would, anyways.
Yeah, but this very much feels like oh my god, the children are singing and dancing, and now the children are doing something magical for Christmas, which is fine. That totally has its place. It's just not for me.
But that's the meaning of Christmas, Tim.
The meaning of Christmas is
Can I say that other than Die Hard and Gremlins and those kind of films, I think if you want a feel-good Christmas film, Nativity might be my favorite one.
Sure, it's very much a feel-good Christmas movie, for sure.
And it's stupid in parts and it's unbelievable in parts. Like there's this whole character arc where so the reason that they put on this big nativity is Martin Freeman's character, Mr.
Maddens.
Mr. Anderson puts on he lies and basically says that Hollywood are going to come and film their nativity play, and it gets everyone in the town, which is Coventry, excited.
I think that might be the first time it's ever happened in Coventry.
Well, no, they get Coventry's the only place I know that takes an immense amount of pride from having been blown up. It's like, that's not an exaggeration.
No, I know.
To Coventry, they are crazy about the city centre, which was bombed in World War II. I don't really understand it myself, but he tells this lie and he says, look, they're coming over, and one of the reasons he does is because his ex-girlfriend, who fell out with him for
some reason, it was something like they
Christmas.
were all actors, and she wanted to be a director or a producer, and I don't think he was pushing her down that way. He wasn't necessarily stopping it, but he wasn't pushing her down the producer route.
So she walked out on Christmas,
and so he hates Christmas.
Went to live in LA, and she's like a secretary at a movie studio, and she manages to convince a producer to hire a helicopter from LA to fly to Coventry and film a nativity, which is dumb, right? It's really dumb. Christmas movies are dumb.
Yeah, it's the whole thing with the Christmas movie is, wow, it's the magic and wonder of the Christmas time. And that's fine.
It is fine. And I think that the stars of the show are the kids. And you just said that you fucking hate all children, and
don't know if I said that
verbatim. He said, "Yeah, I fucking hate all children." But I think the kids are really good. Some of them are terrible actors.
Yes, but they are children. I'm not going to say, but it's children actors, therefore they are excused. But it was quite clear they just contacted a primary school or something.
Well, no, because all of them are serious actors. They were all professional actors for this movie, and I think it's got some of the catchiest songs in Christmas movie. Yeah. Sparkle and Shine is a banger.
Sparkle and Shine does go hard.
There is 2 sequels to Nativity. One which is okay, which has David Tennant in, and one that is absolutely fucking awful called Dude, Where's My Donkey? But I think Nativity 1 is heartfelt and harmless enough that it is something that gets played in my house every single Christmas.
Sure, yeah, and I get why completely.
And I think, well, when Jack's into films, he'll watch it, and it'll become a bit of a Christmas tradition.
Sure.
So, what did you give it on IMDb?
I gave it a 5 out of 10, just right down the middle. Didn't love it, didn't hate it.
The One Bloke from Blighty.
Yeah, it's getting a 1 bloke from me. What about you?
Let's not say what you said to Payne in that voice message, because you don't come off well.
No, no. Can I just say as well, sorry, before we get onto my final thought on the movie, Joey, what would you give it out of Blighty?
7 blokes out of Blighty. So I've given it 1.5 blokes. Tim's given it 1.
Yeah.
Bloke out of Blighty.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. The thing I wanted to comment on is something I couldn't stop thinking about any time Alan Carr was in the movie.
Oh, he's shit, isn't it?
He is shit, but what sort of evil bastard goes around like writing newspaper reviews of children's activities plays and slagging them off, being like, "This was awful, 1 star."
I agree. I also like that the private school is that evil that they do a show of King Herod and amputate limbs from a child
and throw it into the audience.
And throw it into the audience.
It's treated as very normal.
Yeah, it is. But for those who think, well, how is it a Christmas film? It's a doll. It's a school production. But the way they do it is quite clever, and you could see it in a school production.
Yeah.
But Alan Carr is a horrible, evil bastard that they just accept is a horrible, evil bastard and invite him everywhere, and then invite him on stage to do a dance at the end.
Yeah.
Very
weird.
Yeah, very weird. Tim, what are we watching for next week?
Do we want to do another Christmas movie?
No.
You don't want to do another Christmas movie?
On the whole, apart from the ones I said, Die Hard, Gremlins, Nativity. Do you count Cool Runnings as a Christmas movie?
I do not.
It's done at the Winter Olympics. That's the only reason I would count it.
Sure.
But you're not counting
snow in it. No.
Yeah, basically. So we'll take that out. So Die Hard, Gremlins, Nativity. I think 99% of Christmas films are absolute wank, and they genuinely infuriate me.
I'm gonna take you on a bit of an emotional roller coaster here. I think I am gonna pick another Christmas movie.
I'm not gonna watch it.
It's gonna be Die Hard.
Yes, we're gonna watch Die Hard.
Yeah, we are.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers!
Hell yeah.
Well, I take back. I'm not gonna watch it because I'm absolutely gonna watch Die Hard.
Hell yeah.
Nice, Tim.
Yeah.
Where would you like to go next? Have you got weird history for me?
Oh, I do.
Okay, well, let's do some weird ass history.
History. I couldn't hear a word of what you said over the synth wave.
Oh, I said I needed to burp during that. I don't know if that came out.
Oh.
During my last line of the bit before. I'm going to keep this in.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
September 27th, 1986.
Worries me when you start with September, because,
It's a bit of a stigma month. But we're in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, as we normally are.
As we often are. A local chapter of the United Way charity network has decided to set a world record in the city, drumming up tourism by releasing 1.5 million balloons.
I know this story.
You know it?
I do know it. Carry on, because it's a cracking story.
It is. It's wild.
Not for the city, but it's a great story.
In the run-up to in the run-up to September 27th, the event was being coordinated by a Los Angeles-based firm called Balloon Art by Treb, who spent 6 months preparing. Treb did done fuck up. They started by erecting a large rectangular structure to hold the balloons in Cleveland's public square, and the structure was approximately the size of a city block and 3 stories high. Like, absolutely massive, this thing.
Yep.
This was covered by a single piece of woven net mesh, and inside there was about 2,500 volunteers filling the balloons with helium. It was often described as a assembly line, and volunteers were rewarded with a free shirt. Cool. United Way originally wanted to release 2 million balloons, but they stopped at 1.5 million balloons when the logistics of sourcing those additional balloons became an issue. But children started selling balloon sponsorships, where people for every $1 could sponsor 2 balloons that those children blew up. Works out to about $2.83 in today's money.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Saturday, September 27th, 1986. Despite a rainstorm approaching, United Way released the balloon to a crowd of 100,000 people, and the record was now set, beating the record previously set by Disneyland on their 30th anniversary, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now, typically what will happen with a helium-filled latex balloon is they'll be released outdoors and they'll stay aloft to be almost fully deflated by the time it reaches the point in the atmosphere at which point it can drop. to the Earth.
Mhm.
However, because of the storm that was approaching, the balloons were met with a cold front of cool air and rain, which caused them to drop downwards to the ground while still deflated. While they were still inflated, rather. The descending balloons ended up clogging land and waterways in northeast Ohio, causing blockages in traffic and water supplies to get clogged. In the days following the event, many balloons were reportedly washed ashore in the Canadian side of Lake Erie, causing water pollution, because some people had misconceptions about the environmental impact of these balloon releases, thinking that, quote, the balloons would reach an altitude where they popped and disintegrated.
Can I just stop you there? We
Yeah.
started this episode with an advert from our friends at Two Girls, One Reusable Cup.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the kind of thing that would give them aneurysms.
Yeah, just melt at this. But I love the idea that they were just like, oh, well, I can't see the balloon anymore, so it must have disintegrated. It's just floated away.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Burke Lakefront Airport had to shut down a runway for an hour and a half after the balloons landed there, and traffic collisions were also reported as drivers were, quote, swerving to avoid slow-motion blizzards and of multicolored orbs, or they took their eyes off the road to gawk at the overhead spectacle.
Yeah, but
No.
that's not the worst of it.
That's not the worst of it. We're going to ramp up to the worst of it. Balloons were also landing on a pasture in Geauga County, Ohio, which spooked a resident's Arabian horse, which allegedly suffered permanent injuries as a result. The resident ended up suing the organizers of the event for $100,000 in damages, but they settled for an undisclosed amount.
Yeah.
But the worst of it, two fishermen, Raymond Broderick and Bernard Solzer, had gone out fishing on Lake Erie on September 27th and were reported missing by their families on the day of the event. Rescuers had spotted their boat anchored on the edge of Edgewater Park breakwall. A Coast Guard search and rescue helicopter had difficulties reaching the area because of the asteroid field of balloons that they encountered. A search and rescue boat did try and spot the fishermen floating in the lake, but guard officials said the balloons made it impossible to see whether anyone or not was actually in the lake. On September 29th, the Coast Guard suspended its search, and the fishermen's bodies were subsequently washed ashore days later. The wife of the fisherman sued the United Way of Cleveland branch and the company that organized the balloon release for $3.2 million for funds at the time. I don't know what that translates to in today money. But they later again settled for an undisclosed term. Roger Rice of the Search and Rescue Program, he was a manager for them, said in an interview that Balloon Fest did not have anything to do with the unfortunate deaths of those men. But I don't know if you've seen the photo of the Lake Erie with the balloons. That's impossible. Those guys did not stand a chance.
Yeah, they really didn't. $3.2 million from 1986 to 2024 is $9.2 million now.
A lot of money. A lot of money. The fundraiser ended up losing money due to cost overruns, and one woman interviewed about the event said the charity could have done better for the city by doing nothing at all.
I mean, that is correct.
And I've got a video here. I'm not going to ask you to sit and watch the full thing, but I'm just going to pop this in here. This is, I mentioned the balloons descending while they were still inflated because of the cold front.
Yeah.
The video that I've sent you is the footage of 1.5 million balloons falling from the sky.
The thing is, like, it looks apocalyptic.
It does.
I skipped partway through it, and it looks like something like a war zone. It's really weird.
It's really bizarre. Like, I understand that they thought this was a good idea for public, tourism approach and a bit of a charity fundraiser, but man, they're just the logistics of it were just unreal. And it obviously, I'm not going to say it resulted in the death of two people, but it certainly didn't help.
But it resulted in the death of two people. Tim, right. if you look, I've linked you a video.
Yeah.
Skip to 3 minutes 17 and just watch for 10 seconds, because you see that's a proper view of the balloons releasing, and they go up probably 100 foot and then immediately start coming down. It's so strange.
I'm going to have to mute the video because it is deafening.
Yeah, it's really loud.
It looks like a smoke cloud completely covering, I want to say that's the Temple Tower in Cleveland, Ohio. I could be mistaken with the name on that. But they are just immediately coming back down.
But then this, at the end of that video I sent you, it's a short documentary, a 6-minute documentary about this, which I'll link in the Discord on Wednesday. You go to 5-6 minutes, 4:50, 5 minutes in. It shows you Lake Erie. And now imagine trying to find something floating on the top of that.
Yeah, it would be impossible.
It would. It really would. But yeah.
Bad job, organisers. You done goofed.
Bad job. But the problem, the reason that they were so hard to find, life jackets are a certain colour so they're extremely visible.
Mm-hmm.
The two fishermen would have been wearing those life jackets, you would assume. But you can't see anything that's extremely visible because the whole of the lake is covered in extremely visible objects.
Yeah, it's bright, vibrant colours covering a lake with two people drowning in it.
Yeah, not good.
Not
Bad
good.
job.
But that's weird history.
Good, very good history.
Very short.
No. I enjoyed it. It was good history. Tim, a couple of things I want to talk to you about. Number one, 28 years later.
Oh, yeah.
So we briefly spoke about this today when we saw each other in person, because every 6 months I have to verify that you are still a human being.
I am still here.
Not AI. What did you think of 28 years later? We started to talk about it and I said, no, stop. I want to talk about this on the podcast.
So I love 28 Days Later.
Okay.
It's been a very long time since I've seen 28 Weeks Later, but I remember enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
My concern with 28 Years Later, because don't get me wrong, I'm excited for the movie. I'm a fan of the franchise. And it's great to see that this franchise is almost being, I'm not going to say revived, but getting a sequel in almost an appropriate time frame.
Revived would have been better.
That would have been very funny given the topic. But
sorry, Tim. Sorry. Let's put the brakes on. For anyone who has been under a rock for 25 years, 28 Days Later is a zombie movie where if any blood gets in your bloodstream, through your eyes, your mouth, bitten, etc., you have about 10-20 seconds before you become a really fast zombie that is hell-bent on killing living people. There you go. That's it. And it's set in England, this one. There you go. That's it.
And is it the thing that really appeals, I think, to about 28 Days Later is that it's very much a grassroots movie. It's low budget. It's quite clearly shot on a lot of constraints.
What would you count as low budget?
I mean, I'm not sure, but you can tell it obviously wasn't like up there with like, I don't know what Hollywood was doing at the time.
$8 million.
Is that a lot for a zombie movie? It's a lot to me. I wish I had $8
well,
million.
yeah, it's a lot to me as well, but that's yeah. Sorry, carry on.
My concern with 28 Years Later, the trailer, is it all. I don't want them to take things too far, because what they've shown off in the trailer is like, oh, there's a lot of cult stuff going on, and that's fine. But do you remember? Oh fuck! What was it that we played? Outlast on the podcast. We remember Outlast. Do you remember how we were saying that the first 2/3 of that game, 3/4 of that game, were like brilliant in atmosphere, really, really original, and it's something that really, really striking. And then it went to a secret underground lab, and it was just too far.
Yeah,
I don't want them to do that.
So I understand your concern. I don't think it'll do that because I think Danny Boyle is an incredible filmmaker.
He is.
Probably knows his limits. I think there will be an element more of Hollywoodism, which is not really a word, but there could be an element of Hollywoodism with this. Like you've got the big Tower of Skulls in the trailer. You've got the people donning the big face mask, but I think it's about a rebuilding of society. I think whereas the first two were about survival, this one is about rebuilding. Sure. What I think about this, my concern is, whilst I enjoy the first few series, this to me looked a lot like The Walking Dead. I don't want it to be The Walking Dead. I want it to be 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
28 years later. But we'll see. I mean, big spoilers here for 28 weeks later. Do you remember how it ended?
I do not. I don't. It's been years since I've seen that movie.
A huge cliffhanger. The whole thing, 28 days, 28 weeks, set in England. At the end, there were zombies running through a metro system, and they popped out, and you saw the Eiffel Tower. So they'd obviously made it across the continent
to Europe.
Paris. So this is now obviously not contained to our very small island. It was Europe at least, and probably a worldwide epidemic. But I think in the culture that we live in now, having gone through not 28 days later, but a worldwide pandemic, I think that we're going to look at this movie differently to when we did when 28 Days and 28 Weeks came out. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think there needs to be a bit more of a fantasy element for it so that it's not too steeped in reality.
Well, I was talking to Payne about this, about the trailer, and we were saying that back when 28 Weeks and 28 Days Later was out, we would be like, yeah, no, the zombie infection wouldn't spread. People would just say, oh, yeah, I've been bit or whatever. Having been through COVID, no, people wouldn't say. They would keep that shit quiet.
People would be licking lampposts left, right, and centre.
And it does make the concept of a spreading infection like that a lot more believable because we've been through it. Granted, not a zombie thing, but a spreading infection.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to go down the whole, oh, but it was the government the whole time kind of route.
Well, they very clearly say in the first one, because I watched the first one a few nights ago, it's impossible to get hold of. It's not on streaming services. They're not printing the DVD. Literally the only legitimate way to get it. Actually, I can say the only legitimate way. I've got the DVD behind me.
I have a DVD downstairs as well.
I've got the DVD, so I watched it, and he says, oh, what are the government going to do about it? And they very clearly say, well, the government aren't going to do anything. The government have disappeared. There is no government anymore, so I don't think they can go down that route.
No, but you know the kind of thing that I mean, where it's just like someone is controlling the infection or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I want from the movie, to be honest, at this stage. We've seen one trailer, and it's been a very long time since I've seen 28 Weeks Later. It would probably be good to get a bit of a refresher on that.
Yeah. And did you notice, and once again, spoilers, 28 years later, not even out yet, in the trailer, did you notice the Cillian Murphy zombie?
I did.
Very cool.
That was a neat touch. He didn't make it.
I don't think it's going to be him.
No?
I think it'd be someone else. I think he's in it. I think he's confirmed as in it. But I don't think you get an Oscar-winning actor and then stick him in prosthetics for, like, a shot in a movie.
It would be a cool reference.
It would be a really cool reference, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's not how they bring back Jim for me.
No.
Tim, we're moving on. We're going to keep this episode nice and snappy. I've got two things I want to ask you.
Yeah.
One, we're not going to. You've put Game Award announcements. We're not going to do that. We're going to do that in a Podmas episode. I'm going to spoil that now. Robot Wars you put on there.
Oh yeah, Payne and I started rewatching old Robot Wars the other day.
Nice. Who's your favourite?
I'm a big fan of first of all the Chad Hypno disc. B, Sir Kill-A-Lot. Sir Kill-A-Lot is the OG.
He is the OG.
Although he wasn't in the first series.
Wasn't he?
No,
was
so
Matilda, the one that looked like a Triceratops.
Yeah.
Sergeant Bash who had a flamethrower, which was useless.
Absolutely useless. And a chainsaw on the back, which in the first series broke every episode.
No.
So we've been watching it. First of all, it was hosted by Jeremy Clarkson, which I had no idea.
That's so weird. It's just
very
Craig
bizarre.
Charles in my head.
Well, you know how Craig Charles is a very loud, energetic, excitable man. Jeremy Clarkson's doing the whole, if you look at the robots, you'll find this kind of talking. It just doesn't suit Robot Wars. But what we found was that one of the first robots actually comes from around the corner from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of the first. I'm not going to say where specifically.
Stourbridge.
Yes,
Where
one
I
of the
live.
robots is from there. Yeah.
Okay, which robot?
It was. I don't remember the name of the robot. I want to say it was like Roadkill or something like that. But it failed in the first round. But it was one of the first robots ever shown on Robot Wars. And instead of just having these bouts and these individual fights, the first round was always an assault course they had to get through in the old one, like with seesaws and a labyrinth and a swinging pendulum mace.
I like it.
Yeah, Bring
That's
back
pretty
Robot
cool.
Wars. Robot Wars was the shit. Everyone can get behind it.
Maybe we should try finding some copies of the Robot Wars game for the podcast.
Oh, maybe. That'd be cool.
Maybe we can do that. We can do that and source PlayStation 2s. Tim, I also really want to quickly ask you. You've put Tim's new film of the year. What is it?
Oh, yeah. So I was watching a film the other night that came out this year, and I think it's my new favorite film that came out this year. I don't know if you've heard of it, The Wild Robot.
You told me very briefly about it, but I cut you off because I thought you'd talk about it here.
Sure. So The Wild Robot is, I want to say, DreamWorks. Did DreamWorks do The Croods?
No idea.
I'm going to quickly look it up. The Wild Robot.
The
Wild Robot. Give me the company. Yep, it was DreamWorks. So the whole thing with The Wild Robot, it's the story of this robot who is part of a shipment of robots that ends up being washed ashore to this island, this deserted, wild, wooded island, in the middle of the ocean. And their whole thing is that they need to complete tasks. Like that is their whole thing. And as soon as the task is done, they get sent back to the factory in which they came.
Okay.
So this robot tries to start asking the animals of tasks because it's just like, well, who ordered me? Who ordered my arrival here? It obviously doesn't know it was washed ashore. And it ends up trying to assist a bear which tries to kill it. And I should say massive spoilers for The Wild Robot.
Mm-hmm.
The bear ends up chasing this robot called Roz down this hill, and the robot ends up landing on this goose's nest and killing everything in the nest except one egg. And but because all these animals have seen this monster, they call it a monster, but they've seen this robot kill this goose nest. They think, oh, that's a monster. That's a horrific thing that's happening to our island. But of course, the goose that hatches doesn't know any better. And it's a really interesting story about understanding people's place in the world and understanding, like, hey, your biological parents aren't necessarily your parents. It's an interesting tale about like that the relationship between adopted parents and children. But the thing that really, really, really stood out to me this movie, I don't know if you've heard of the phrase "every frame a painting."
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the key principles in art direction and animation. And I think these guys really took it to the nth degree, because Payne was half watching it and asked me, because I'd noticed how gorgeous this movie looked. She asked me, was this hand painted?
Oh,
this
really?
movie. Like, it's that level of detail. And it got to the point where I would just occasionally pause the movie and I'd be like, yeah, look, that looks like a painting. And outside of maybe one or two instances where an object is moving fast, so it's got the blur or whatever, the shot composition, the lighting, the art direction, just the cinematography and the blocking and the position of props and animals and the robot, it was fucking incredible. And if anyone can go and watch it legitimately, emphasis on legitimately, please do. It's 100% a kids movie. I can accept that. It just felt really strange for this movie to really insist upon this almost painted look. And the painted look isn't always obvious, but it's one of these things where if you pause it, it looks painted. And it's really, really interesting in that way. But I think it might be my favorite movie of the year.
Good news for you.
Yep, there's a sequel.
Sequel's been greenlit.
Yep.
And it's based on a book by Peter Brown.
Yes.
And there's 2 more books in the series.
I'm
Wild
very
Robot
excited for
Escapes
that.
and Wild Robot Protects are the two movies.
It's really, really cool. There were points where I got teary, and I wasn't expecting to do that at this movie, but here we are.
The cast is amazing.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
I've never heard of this film. I really probably should have.
Matt Berry and Pedro Pascal and
Bill Nye, Mark Hamill, Stephanie Sue. Really, really. Catherine O'Hara's in it. Oh, I love Catherine O'Hara.
Who doesn't love Catherine O'Hara?
Right, let's get on with it, Tim, because otherwise this has got to be a quick one. So, Tim, we have one more main section that we always do left. That is our jokety joke jokes.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week. I swear I counted that I had 10 jokes. I've got 11.
I have 11 jokes too. So if you're brand new to this section, I'm amazed, but we read each other one-liners. The point is to make the other person laugh. Once one person laughs, that joke is deemed the joke of the week and the section is over. Tim, you can go first.
Sure. My friend got me an elephant for my room and I said, thanks. He said, don't mention it.
Like it. It's good.
Smart.
Tim, I read a story in the paper today about this dwarf that got pickpocketed, and I thought, how could anyone stoop so low?
That is a crime, to be fair.
It's a crime, yeah.
It is a crime.
Terrible, terrible thing.
I was driving down the road and I saw a hitchhiker, and being in a generous mood, I decided to give him a ride. After I picked him up and we started down the road, he was very thankful and he said, but aren't you scared that I'm going to be a serial killer or something? And I chuckled and went, the chance of us both being serial killers is pretty low, don't you think?
That's funny. That's good. I didn't expect it. That was really good. Tim, I did a sponsored walk once. In the end, I managed to raise so much money that I just got a taxi.
Smart. It's efficient.
Very.
A termite walks into a bar and asks, is the bartender here?
Yeah, okay. Is the bartender here? I think we might have had that one.
Uh-huh.
We've either had it or I've heard it somewhere else. Tim, people say when you eat a lot of spicy food, you can lose your taste.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be true because I went to India a few summers ago, and after eating the food, I started listening to loads of Fleetwood Mac.
I like Fleetwood Mac. What the fuck? That's
why I changed it from what it was to Fleetwood Mac. So I think they're shit.
I like Fleetwood Mac. I like them a lot. What do you call a guy with no shins?
Go on.
Tony.
Tony, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Remember, Tim, never answer your phone during sex. Even if you hilariously answer with, can't talk right now, I'm going into a tunnel.
That very nearly got me. That was good. A vegan and a vegetarian jump off a cliff in a race to the bottom. Who wins?
Society.
Everyone else, yeah.
Not reflective of the beliefs of Two Blokes From
No,
Blighty.
of course.
But Alex thinks that. Tim, when someone close to you dies, just move seats.
Smart. They would start to smell eventually.
It would.
Yeah. A blind man walks into a hardware store and with his seeing eye dog, and he picks the dog up by his tail and starts swinging it around his head. And the manager says, "Can I help you?" And the guy goes, "Nah, I'm just looking around."
The imagery of that nearly got me. Yeah. Tim, I was reflecting on some past relationships that I'd had and my growth since then. But I was thinking about the first time that I ever told someone that I loved them. I was lying to get sex.
Makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Yep. What do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhino?
I don't know.
Elephino.
That is really good.
Yeah?
It's really funny. I like that one. Tim, I hate sitting in traffic. I always get run over.
That will happen. That will happen. What do you call a masturbating cow?
I don't know. What do you call a masturbating cow?
Beef stroganoff.
Good.
That was very nearly.
It was very nearly. Tim, I used to live in a flat with these 3 women until they found out.
Oh, that must have been awkward. Must have been very awkward. How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman?
Don't know.
0.
Good.
It's a thinker. It's a history joke.
With a name like Fitzgerald, you can say it as well.
It's true. I can get that pass.
Tim, I can't even count to 10 in French. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I have to stop there. I've got a wheat allergy.
I think I get it.
I
get it. I get it. Sorry, I don't speak French.
That's a really funny joke. It means 8.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm.
How'd you make holy water?
Don't know.
Boil the hell out of it.
Yeah, not bad.
Mid.
As a child, I watched Mary Poppins, Tim. I watched it so many times that I suffered a condition with my sight. The doctor told me it was umdiddly.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That is very, very good. My last one. What do you call a rooster with erectile dysfunction?
I don't know.
Boneless chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. My last one. I've got one more if we desperately need it, but I'm guessing you know what it is. Tim, I've just finished my book. I wrote on penguins. Come to think of it, paper would have been better.
That would have been more efficient.
Tim, what was the penguin doing when he kicked the bucket?
Yeah, here he goes. Yeah, what did he say? Look
said-
how far I can kick this bucket.
Aren't you glad that we have that as a cheat code?
Oh, it's such a fucking safety net. That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week. But a little.
So that's our joke of the week. Something about penguins and buckets. Tim,
Merry Christmas, everyone. It's a kick the bucket joke.
let's do
Play that same song.
let's do the quiz question.
Oh yeah.
What city is the city that the Taj Mahal is in?
Do you want one more guess?
No, because I can't think of any more fucking cities.
It is the city of Agra.
Oh, I wouldn't have ever got that.
Ah, well, there you go.
Right, Tim, we're going to do a quick exit. Tim, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'm going to shout Luke from the Nostalgic Pod. Been very active in the Discord lately. Big up.
Big up, Luke. Big up, Dan from Casting News. This is Talking Smack then, but big up Talking Smack as well.
Of course.
And the folks at the Podpack Collective. Big up, Alex. We love you.
Wow.
And we'll see you in a week's time.
Oh, wait, actually, next episode's out on Boxing Day, yes?
Yes.
So you'll actually hear from us on Thursday.
No. This goes out on the 18th, Tim.
No, this episode.
This one goes out on the 18th.
Yeah, but the one
tell them about
after.
that. But we'll tell them about that after. Don't worry, fuck them.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm being dumb. I will accept audience coming.
See you later. Right, turns out I'm the fucking idiot. Tim, tell me what you're going to say.
Yep. December 26th is the next episode of Two Blokes From Blighty. That's a Thursday, so I don't know if we have to come up with a different jingle or what, but here's your heads up. Bye.
No one wants to hear us on Christmas Day. We thought we would just go ahead and show you.
Show some fucking respect.
And then remember,
I will accept audience coming.
See you later. Bye.
No, the saddest thing has happened.
What's happened?
I've opened my beer, or tried to open it. The ring pull's come off. No, hang on. I'm pretty sure I have a screwdriver here. Yeah. Hang on.
Why do you have a screwdriver in your desk?
Because I was working on my PC the other day.
Look, I've got a screwdriver on my desk.
Were you working on your PC the other day? That is a much nicer screwdriver than what I've got.
Oh, Tim, check this out. This is rubbish for the audio, but it's one of these where you go.
Oh, is it an angular? Oh, one of them. Does it turn as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Do you know what I was working on? Not
What's
my
that?
PC. I was tightening my toilet seat.
Also good to do.
There you go.
Let me turn this around before I slice my lip open.
There you go. Tim, you were meant to introduce
Oh, yeah.